Okay guys, episode 2 starts right now. We're going to talk to somebody all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. He came out to our training class. He's going to give his experience of the entire class. Also, what we're going to do is we're going to call one of our customers down in California, Central California. He's taken his business to the next level using Stone Coat countertops. We're going to tell you how, why, and what he's doing right now. Let's have a good time. Hey guys, welcome to the Dominate DIY podcast. Here we talk about how to dominate your do-it-yourself projects with simple solutions, providing valuable insights to contractors, professionals, and do-it-yourselfers. I'm your host, Mike Quist. Enjoy the podcast. Dominate DIY. All right, guys, I'm with Rodney Mcgee. He just did our class with us. We had an amazing time at this class. I'm going to show some of the pictures, some of the footage of what we made. Rodney, tell us first, where are you from, man?
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, how long you lived there, brother?
I've lived there for 9 years.
9 years. So where'd you grow up?
Grew up around Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh, okay. We just did that job in Charleston. Did you see that video yet of that project we did?
I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but that's on my list.
That's a cool town, man. We really, we went downtown to East Bay Street. That's kind of like the famous area there, and we saw some of the sites and Fort Sumter and stuff like that. How'd you like growing up there?
It was awesome, man. We always hung out at Market Street. We did a lot of fishing, always construction work. So
you grew up doing construction?
My whole life.
Okay. Well, what kind of trades did you do as a kid?
I started out as a framer.
Uh-huh.
I framed for 20 years. Got out of framing, got into bathtub refinishing.
Okay.
And came here to get trained to add to my business, and it was awesome.
Very cool, man. So bathtub refinishing. We've actually had a number of bathtub refinishers come out to our training, and it seems like that market is extremely primed for this kind of a trade or an add-on, and it's you already know how to prep. You already know how to prep a tub and a countertop. So you've done countertop multi-spec, or you've used those kind of products before.
I have, but there's no comparison to what I've learned here, and that's just me being honest.
Sure.
We do a lot of multi-spec. I have over 27 colors, but for me, it's not as realistic as what you taught me here.
Okay. So you saw the videos. You saw that we put on classes. What triggered you to come out here, or kind of tell me your backstory, or how'd you find us, and why are you out here?
Honestly, I saw a pop-up ad, and of course I Googled your company, and I started watching your videos, and the more I watched the videos, the more intrigued I was by them. So I told my wife, I said, hey, we have to add this to our business. And here I am.
What'd the wife say? Did she look at any videos?
Yeah, she looked at them. She thought they were awesome, but when she came into the showroom today, she was like really blown away. She was like, they look totally different than the videos.
So do they look better or worse in person?
Way better.
Right on. It's hard to get pictures sometimes because of the gloss. You gotta figure out how to take a picture and really show the depth, and that's something you really can't. So that's what we found is when our customers get this in their hands, they do what they've learned on the videos. They're usually way happier because A, it did what the videos showed, and B, it's way cooler in person. So if you like it on the videos, you'll like it in real life.
Yeah, it's awesome. I encourage anybody that wants to learn how to do this to definitely come take the course at Stone Coat Countertops.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much. So you were telling me you travel a lot right now when you're doing your bathtubs and you're refinishing. One of the goals was to kind of try to stay home more. Was that your plan?
Yeah, I want to deviate from the hotels, and I also do residential bathtub refinishing, but I want to concentrate more on countertops versus the hotels, so I can stay in a mile radius from my house.
Sure. Okay. So Rodney showed me some of his work on his phone. He showed me a bunch of pictures of projects you've done, and I gotta say, he showed me the reviews. I love that you get customer reviews. You've got how many, like 20 something?
22.
They're all 5-star reviews.
Yes, sir.
So this guy knows his stuff. He knows how to work. He knows how to please customers. And that's one thing that we really strive is give us an honest review. Tell us what you think. So if you don't mind, tell me about the class. Did we meet your expectations? What did you think?
I would say you exceeded it in certain areas, and I would have liked for the class to have been a little bit longer, but I realize, you know, you can only accommodate so many people when you have 20 guys in the class and you're trying to teach how to do stone coat countertops.
Sure.
But for the most part, I'm extremely happy.
Awesome, man. The pieces that you made, what did you think of them? What did you think of what you were creating?
I'm definitely going to be adding this to my business.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Were you surprised at what people could make their first time using it?
I was. It's not really hard, but you know, you have to pay attention to detail.
Right.
You know, once you learn the coloring recipes and the different techniques, then you can really, the sky's the limit. I mean, you can do whatever you want and what you think your customers might want.
Right. Had you used our products at all before you came out here?
Never.
Okay, so you were brand fresh new. You wanted to test it right here, hands on, get into it, and see what it would really do. So you came. Were you skeptical?
A little bit, but not so much because I've always worked with my hands.
Yeah.
And no, I've been watching your videos since March. So,
right on.
You know, I kind of had, I would say, probably an upper hand in some of them in the class because, you know, I watched a lot of videos, a lot of footage.
Cool. You know, that's one thing that we suggest too when people are wanting to learn this is watch videos, and then if you can't come out here, which we understand it's all the way in Oregon, you know, and so we tell people, get a sample kit, start trying to do what we show in the videos, and you'll be surprised at how repeatable a lot of this is. We started with Carrara marble, kind of a white look, and we built upon that. That's one of my favorite colors. Could you see how most people would, like half our customers want something in that lighter tone?
Right.
What did you think? What was your favorite color that we did, I guess?
The last piece, until we kept going to show different techniques, was the...
Talk about that piece. I want to hear your perspective of that whole rundown. Well, so what we do is when we're teaching a class, the last piece that we do, the first day we do small pieces, so we get individual attention and you get individual learning these different techniques and different ways of applying our products. The second day we do group projects in much larger pieces, so you get a real world dynamic of how something's going to go in a bigger kitchen. And then the very last piece that we do, we throw a curveball, and I step back a lot and see how it's going to evolve. So talk about how that went down and what you thought.
Well, we started off doing a basic soapstone, you know, and we put our veining in, and we didn't like the way the veins looked, and we ragged the top and started over, and we added some metallics, and we didn't like it, and we started all over, but the end result was pretty cool, you know. But 2 steps before the end is where I really liked it, where we ragged the top and we had the chrome finish in there,
right,
and we ragged the top and then we torched it out, and I thought it was really awesome at that point.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because when we're teaching these pieces, we'll take a small sample and we'll show you, okay, here's one look, and then we'll fast forward, we'll do another thing. Here's a second look for the same colors, right? And then we try to teach multiple steps, and you can stop at each step, and that helps you a couple ways. Number one, you don't have to buy a bunch of material to get a bunch of different looks, and we always suggest snap a picture, take a picture. Okay, cool, that's good, let's move on. And now you have multiple ideas, and you can, and that's actually why we started filming us making these pieces, is because when we got to a really cool end result, how the heck did we do that? We're trying to figure it out. So we started videotaping it, because keeping a pen and paper unsticky, and that's impossible. So
I was really impressed about starting a piece, turning it into a piece, going one step further, turning it into another piece. I actually saw 4 different pieces in one color recipe, and I just thought that was so cool because you could actually make 4 different patterns with what you already have on the piece.
Yes.
And I just thought that was really cool.
So if you mess up, what do?
You can erase it.
Yes. And do you have to pour more epoxy?
Not at all.
No, man. So never press eject on your piece. You can always brush it out, chop it a little bit, and then start adding those same colors in a different manner, and you're going to build a complex piece, because now you got this undertone of coolness, and then you build upon it, you know. So tell us about your business and what kind of jobs you're going to be looking for in Atlanta doing this kind of work.
Well, I currently own a bathtub cabinet refinishing business. I have a division for bathtubs. I have a cabinet refinishing division, and I want to add epoxy countertops as another division, and just do bathroom vanities, kitchen countertops, existing or new countertops installed, and possibly epoxy floors as well.
Okay, so you're looking to get into that. I got to tell you that Rodney is, you could tell that he's got an eye for this, and you're a perfectionist, are you not?
I try my best.
Yeah, I can tell that you really care about your work, you care about your customers. You showed me your customer reviews, you showed me your website. I got a good feel for you, and I loved what you were making in the class. You did a phenomenal job. Whenever we're doing group projects, Rodney wants to jump up there and learn, and I think you're going to run with this. And so I'd like you guys to know that Rodney in the Atlanta area, if you guys are looking for him to come help you with your project, what's a number they can reach you at?
You can call Creative Refinishing Unlimited at 470-334-5849.
Awesome. Ask for Rodney.
Ask for Rodney.
Are you the one who picks up the phone?
I'm the one that answers the phone.
Right on, man. Right on. Any suggestions you have for somebody who's just looking into these products, brand new at it? Any suggestions you have for them?
Watch the videos.
Okay.
Watch the videos, and if you can, come to the training. If you can't, don't be afraid to try it.
Yeah.
It's easy, it's simple.
Right on.
If you follow the color recipes that are on Stone Coat Countertops website, you will be successful.
Sweet, bro. You want to say anything before we sign off?
Nah, I'm good.
All right, man. Yeah, you brought your wife all the way from Atlanta. I think that's way cool. You guys stayed here in Grants Pass, correct?
We did.
What'd you think of Grants Pass here?
Nice weather.
Yeah.
Not super hot, not cold.
Okay.
You know, not humid.
Yeah.
Nice restaurants.
Cool.
It's a little laid back town, but
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, we're laid back for sure. It's a small 30,000 population, and you know what I tell people too when they come here is I've been busy in this little town for 10 years doing this type of work, and it's crazy how busy you can be in just such a small populated area. So right. Atlanta, you better watch out, man.
Hey, I'm ready to work.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you coming out, Rodney. I had a blast with you guys. I asked the class if anybody wanted to come on the podcast. Rodney was definitely wanting to do that, so I'm glad you did. Thanks for giving your feedback. Man, and all I can say to you is reach out, use us as a resource. We're an open book. Anything you need help with, we're here to help you, and we want you to be successful. So we've been there, we continue to be there, and I can't wait to continue this friendship, man.
No problem, man. I appreciate the opportunity.
All right, Rodney. Thanks a lot. We'll continue this podcast, but let's get a "You Got This" on 3. All right, 1, 2, 3. You got this. All right, Rodney. Thanks, man. All right, I'm with my brother Mitch. Mitch, we just taught a class, a 2-day hands-on training.
Yeah.
It was intense, man. Tell us your thoughts on it.
It was intense, but we had a great group of guys and gals from across the U.S. It was a great time. A lot of first-time Stone Coat countertop users that blew my expectations out of the water. What they could create, it was awesome.
You know, we do a lot of these classes. We do one a month. We get a whole new group of people every time. Mm-hmm. Common denominator is, you know, they'll come here. A lot of them, I'd say 60% have never used our products before,
right.
And that was true in this class. Do you think they're getting better? I mean, it seems crazy. Let's talk about the group projects. What do you think?
Right, the group projects. You know, a couple of those in the past. You're midway through it and trying to bail them out of it so we can show the piece to the public. But this group was pretty dang good.
You know,
excellent.
What do you think the key is in any project with our products? Like, what do you think the key is?
The key is to, I think, not to overthink it. To go with it, let that epoxy do the work for you. You need to do a couple things right to make sure you have a good end product, but let go of that stress. Have a good time at it. You know, let the epoxy do the work for you.
You know what I found. What I think a big factor is why they did such amazing pieces is we're pre-choosing color. We're talking about color theory a little bit, and you don't want to add red and green. You're gonna get
right.
Christmas. You know, you really want to pick your colors first, and then work those same colors, layer them on top of each other. And as you do that, you get this depth that is unbelievable. And not only that, we used metallics in the epoxy. We used metallics in alcohol. We used spray paint. We used different effects over each other, and all those things kind of about the clear. That was your idea. Talk about how we do the clear.
So we had a piece that was full of metallics, lots of metallics mixed into the epoxy, lots sprayed on, and we mixed up a small batch of clear, poured that as veins, and it shows up pure white from all the air that was incorporated. But as you torch it, it gives that piece depth. It looks more natural. In a natural granite slab, you'll have fissures running through there that give it depth, that just run through the mountain, and it gives it that look. It splits it up. It's amazing. It did a great job.
I like taking our pieces, and a lot of these pieces we did with this class, and we'll show you the pictures of those pieces. We just looked at them before we came in again, and man, they're moving, and they're pretty much settled out now.
Right.
Oh my gosh, they're all wall hangers. I mean, they're all very cool. But one thing that I'm finding is when we use a base color or a metallic that is moving underneath, not just the raw base paint, but when you put something in that first layer, it gives it more realism, because you're seeing through some of those circles with the alcohol mix.
It moves the top color.
I think that's a key to get a real cool look.
I agree. And then when we did that clear, it moved away some of those colors to expose underneath there, and you can't fake it. It's awesome, man.
Talk about your experience going out to South Carolina with
South Carolina was awesome, man. It was humid, but besides that, it was great. We're not used to that.
When we got out of the car, every time we got out of the car, my glasses would immediately fog up. I couldn't see.
Right.
What's the key? What do you do there? Is it like, do you put Rain-X on your glasses?
You got to do something, because you do go blind.
Yeah. What'd you think of Brian Geary, man?
Brian was awesome, down to earth guy. His crew was really cool. Fun to work for. It was a really big island. I enjoyed working on that. I haven't used a yardstick to work with a countertop.
Yes, we had to make a yardstick, our paint stick, because it was like 6.5 feet across, man.
Yeah, we barely could reach that center, but it was fun. A lot of history over there in South Carolina. That was pretty cool to see. But
what's your advice for brand new folks starting out? Let's just say someone who is looking into this as a business. What would Mitch, you're heavily involved with phone calls every single day. You help people on the phone every day. You teach classes. You film. Mitch and I have been working together our entire life. We grew up working construction with our dad.
Right.
What would be your advice to somebody who's jumping into this with both feet? Go.
I would say buy a test kit, buy a couple additives, and make some sample pieces. You start small, you learn it, you're gonna know how fun it is to work with. You're gonna wish you ordered more when you're working with it, because it's a lot of fun. I mean, these classes are a little tiring. We've got to stay on our toes, but I enjoy them. It's my favorite part of work, because I get to work with that product again. It's one of my favorite parts. But just start small, do your sample pieces, get some practical countertop applications that you can show and that you can learn quick, and go from there.
One thing I wanted to talk about that we really showcased, we did a piece where we used our metallic, our mica silver, our mica crushed pearl. We use our silver glitter, and we use our black glitter, and we show that you just mix that in clear and you pour it out. But we did it over a black piece, and then we showed them the same exact recipe over a natural gray, and also over Ethiopia, and these different colors. And could you believe the difference?
I could not believe it. I mean, it made me want to go paint a bunch of boards all sorts of colors and see which one looked the best. They were awesome. They all the same recipe on a different paint. Totally different.
Those are the easiest colors to do, is and that's one of the techniques that we show is when we're gonna do a black galaxy look, where we just do silver glitter over a black board. I actually show that. We get more complex with the folks who are here, but I want to show them how simple glitter, pour it over a black base, and now we learn how to torch, because when you go over a black base and it's clear and you got all that air incorporated,
You learn what it takes to torch, and it's not hard. It's just 3 passes, wait about 5 minutes between.
Yep.
But then when we made that mixture, I call it transformer oatmeal, because you got all this metal mica glitter, and it's like, whoa, more than meets the eye. You know what I mean? But man, those I'll put those pictures on here too.
Yeah.
But man, we're gonna experiment. So we got some exciting news about. We got such a great feedback from micas. You know, micas are huge. They're such an easy thing to make them look amazing. We have a ton of new colors.
Right.
Have we put those out yet?
Not yet.
When are we gonna have them out, man?
Hopefully very soon, next week. Let's hope.
Mitch is gonna. It's Mitch's job to get those out, so it's on you, bro.
All right, pressure's on now.
Yes.
Here come the phone calls.
I know. When are they gonna be out? We got some sweet ones. We're gonna be doing some more videos on micas, how to make them, how to mix them, put them in your clear, poured out clear instead of broadcasting them.
Yeah.
What happens when you broadcast them?
They float on top. As you go to sand for that next coat, you can sand quite a bit off, and they're almost wasted. They create nasty high points. I like mixing them in, and it gives that piece depth. They're suspended in that small layer of epoxy, but they catch the light differently, and it looks more natural than just throwing it on top.
You know, we're really trying to match like the modern quartz look when we're doing these colors. And what we found too is when you're using the mica flakes, the more you add over the top, the faker it looks. So we really recommend sticking with the micas. And if you use a base color tint in your color, it washes out and it kind of gets in that. It doesn't look good.
It doesn't look right.
Do your base color,
Yep.
paint it with paint and primer in one, clear micas,
Yep.
glitter, transformer, oatmeal, whatever
Easy.
you want to make. So we're going to do more colors coming up like that. I don't want this thing to sound like a commercial. These are really real things that we're doing all the time, and it is fun, man.
It is.
All right, man. I know you're tired. We worked hard this week, man.
Long week, but worth it. It was awesome. A lot of fun.
We missed Mother's Day, Doc.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brian Geary. Yeah, you got us out there. Yeah, we were on a plane Sunday. We got home Wednesday night. We taught the class Thursday, Friday. Good job.
Yeah, I'm ready for some rest. You
Good
too,
job.
buddy.
All right. Well,
Good work.
we're gonna call Greg Rich.
Yeah.
Talk about Greg Rich.
Greg Rich, down in Mariposa, California. He called us up out of he this isn't his full-time gig. He works as a commercial driver, and he wants something else. So he bought a small kit, did some samples, got a job right in the market where he lives, sold that job, installed it with his kids, shared some pictures with us. The pictures were so cool, we shared them to Facebook, and he called back so happy that we did that, and he's becoming a good customer. He's got
Why
jobs
was he
lined up.
happy? Talk about what happened on Facebook.
He got phone. He doesn't know anything about Facebook. He should, because he's a younger guy, but he's been busy. But anyway, he doesn't know how to even get on Facebook, and he's getting phone calls of people saying, "Hey, I see your job on Facebook."
Did you share like his business name or
I
something?
did. I shared his review he gave us. He shared some pictures, did a quick little review saying his experience and how much his customer enjoyed the pieces that he installed, and it went great.
Hold on, Catherine's here. Come on in. You got to get on camera if you're here.
Oh, we doing a podcast?
Yeah, you're live. You're live.
Hey guys!
All right. Is there something that I could help you with?
Yeah, we're just having fun, just kind of check it out, hear what you guys are up to, so that's good.
This is Catherine. You got to take your hat off so you can see your face.
Here I am.
This is
Hi.
Catherine. She is.
Oh, where's the camera? Okay.
Yeah,
This
she's
is all new.
she's the boss right here. We were talking about Greg Rich. Did you know Greg Rich?
Yep, Greg's awesome.
Yeah. So we're gonna call him up. You shared his stuff on Facebook. He got some jobs because his business name was on there. He was kind of emotional, right?
He was. He's a down-to-earth, cool guy, man. That kind of stuff, I love it.
That is why we do this for real. I mean, the pictures we get, the comments that we get, that fuels us. I mean, it's like sweet. It's working. People love this. It's translating. The videos are teaching. They're winning. They're making amazing stuff. And then the guy is a truck driver. He wants to now do something close to home.
Yep.
I can't wait to talk to him. So you've talked to him. Our customer service department's kind of walked him through his whole project.
He had some questions. We ironed those out. His tops turned out great. He watched our 4-hour step-by-step video. Follow that recipe. He built countertops from scratch for the first time, and he did an amazing job.
That's sweet. Well, thank you for treating him right.
Yeah.
Anybody who calls us up, that's what we do. How focused are we, Catherine, on making sure folks are treated right?
That's our 100% attention. We work so hard. We want to make sure you guys get the support you need. We really, our team is amazing. We have a great team. They work really hard, and they're also trained to not give you the wrong answer. If they don't know, they come get Mitch, they come get me, they come get Mike. We collaborate and make sure you guys get the right help and the stuff that you need, and we are so happy to help you. We love hearing your projects. We love seeing the pictures. We love hearing your stories. That helps us just get pumped and thrive, and we're so excited for that. So thank you for sharing and sending those in. We share those with one another. We cheer you on. We love seeing those businesses grow. You know, it's so fun. We love seeing your personal victories and seeing those excited. I talked to a lady yesterday. She was just crying on the phone. She was so excited about her project, and she was, we were working through a little bit of a thing that she needed to do, and she was just, it became emotional for her, and she was so excited. She goes, I thought that this is what I wanted, and I decided I wanted to go this direction, and how can you help me? And we just dialed it in and got it just perfect, and she's so excited, so that makes us happy.
Yeah, Mitch, how much experience do you have in construction?
Years.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
15, 16 years easy.
did you ever go to the job site with Dad?
Yeah.
Especially when we were in trouble.
Right.
All right, well, I'm going to call Greg. Catherine, you got anything to say before I call this guy?
Always remember, you will have this. We'll help you get there. So you've got this. Be confident in yourself, and we'll get you taken care of. So have fun. I'm excited to hear Greg's call. I do have a couple things I'm going to go do in our office, but I'm excited to hear that, and we love having this podcast. This is an exciting new part for us. So
Yeah, totally.
So share, and we want to hear your exciting questions. So
And
ask away.
Keep those pictures coming. Today's one of the training customers. He sent, he had been a customer. He'd used it before Jim, and he sent and shared pictures with us on Facebook. And he comes into the showroom, and there's his kitchen hanging up on our wall. We printed out.
Yeah.
He goes, I did that. So your pictures are used here. We love sharing them. It's amazing what you guys create out there. So keep them coming.
That's one thing that we do. So when we hang something on the wall, or when we share something on Facebook, it's not just what we've made.
Right.
Most of what's in our showroom, somebody from the class made it.
Yep.
You can take your samples home, but sometimes they don't want to take them home. They're flying on a plane, or we can ship them out, or they want to donate them to the wall. And so we have a wall that will hang good ones. And these are made by people who've usually used it for the first time.
Right.
Or it's their first weekend using it. So yeah, that picture was so cool. He's like, I made that. And it was a sweet job, but then it instilled confidence. We're not putting up professional pictures. This is a picture he took of his project, and it's in our showroom.
Yep.
Yeah, right
That's
on.
cool there too.
Can they expect to win if they really try this? Is it really going to work?
It's really gonna work.
Right on, man.
That's not a magic trick.
Right on.
Just mix it right.
You like the sign?
I do.
You got this.
I do.
All right, bro. I'll call this guy up.
All right, brother.
Good job. I'll
Take it
see you
easy.
I'll probably see you before the weekend.
Cool, man.
All right, buddy. Calling Greg Rich. Let's see how this goes.
Hello.
Hey, Greg. This is Mike with Stone Coat Countertops. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fantastic, man. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm really good, man. I'm really good. If you can't hear me, if it starts to break up, let me know. I'm pretty new at this whole podcast thing, but I think it's going to work out. Is the connection okay?
Oh, I can hear you fantastic. Yeah.
Awesome, man. So I really appreciate you letting us call. I heard your story from Patrick and from Mitch, and they've been telling me they've been working with you. I got to see your pictures on Facebook. Oh, man. First of all, great work, man. That job you did that we posted, incredible, man. Talk about that. Talk about your experience, man. How'd that go for you?
Well, the ironic thing about that, man, is I owe all that to you. You as an individual with all the videos that you have done and posted on YouTube and on your website. It initially started with me following you on your website and looking at your products and studying it and watching how you're applying it, your applications, and I started out just doing desktops for people. You know, I didn't want to do nothing real big, and I did a desktop. I sent you pictures of that too, you and Catherine. It was for a Stage Stop gun shop, and they had their logo in the middle of the desktop. I don't know if you remember seeing that one or not.
I believe I do. Yes.
Yeah, and so that's what I started at, you know, and I did like 5 desktops for different, you know, companies, you know, people that asked me to do them for them, and you know, I really got confidence with your product and the application process and dry times, and but by no stretch of the imagination do I think I'm, you know, like Mr. Professional here. I mean, it's still a learning curve and a growing process, but people that owned that store in Mariposa there, they got wind of my work, and you know, I went up there and looked at their countertops, and then you've seen in the before pictures, they were just the old 1970 retro Formica countertops.
Right,
you know,
right.
look like Al's Diner off Happy Days. You know,
Yeah.
and so you know, they're up in the mountains, in the mountain area up there, and they wanted something that was rustic looking, and they wanted it to look like stone, and so we did the rock face edge, which I learned strictly by watching your video.
How was that for you? Was that tough, or was it easy, or what did you think of the process of that rock face edge?
Well, I'll tell you this: the process is real easy as long as you honor the process.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, you can't be, you know, a dummy like I was and try to hurry up and rush the process and start sanding on it before it was completely dry. As long as you honor the process and you do it right, it's not that hard. I mean, I even had my 8-year-old and my 14-year-old helping me.
Oh,
you know,
cool.
they're like, man, I don't know how to do this. I said, look, the messier you can make it look, the more you screw it up, the better it's going to come out. So just slop it on there.
So did you notice when you are working with it, it evolves, you know? At first you're going to go, oh no, what's going on? And then as you start to torch, as that stuff starts to move, it really comes to life. Was that your experience, or?
Yeah, I mean, I did a couple of videos of sample boards that I was making for them because it was such a huge project. I mean, between the countertops, the backsplashes, and then them end caps that went on the cabinets, it was almost 162 square feet. That's a lot of countertop.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
you know,
a big job.
Yeah, and I end up using 6.5 gallons of epoxy on it. You
Okay.
know, and doing the sample boards. You know, I'm putting down colors just like you did in your 4-hour tutorial on, you know, a complete start to finish building your own countertops, right?
Right.
And so I laid down the color. Then I got the brush, and I started, you know, chopping it with the brush, or not chopping it, I'm sorry, marbleizing it, you know, doing the brush strokes, mixing and melding the colors together.
Yeah.
And you're looking at it and you're like, oh man, what'd I do? You know, that don't look right. You know,
Yeah.
and you just keep going. And like you always say, man, you just don't be afraid. Keep putting the color in, keep layering it, keep going, you know,
Yeah.
and then it just starts to just create. It's almost like a picture that you're trying to, like a picture that's out of focus, and you just see this blur, and then all of a sudden you start turning the focus and the picture gets clearer and clearer and clearer, and then all of a sudden, boom, you got something that you look at and you're just like, wow. You know how.
What did your customers say on your samples?
They had a hard time deciding on which one they wanted because they liked them all.
Oh, cool.
And what it boiled down to was the blue that's in there. They have some trim that they did that's, you know, they remodeled that whole side of the store, and they have blue trim up, so they wanted some blue in the countertops, and it was just a matter of getting the right amount of blue in there. And believe it or not, we didn't use any black in those countertops at all. There's no black color in there at all.
Okay, cool.
And you know, when I finally finished it, and I did a backsplash first, was the first piece I did, figuring, well, you know, now that I got an approval on a sample that they like, the colors, the design, I said, let me do a backsplash first, and then show that to them again, and make sure that we got an affirmed, yes, that's what we want. And they said, yeah, it looks great, let's go with it. And so then the next thing I did was the island.
Okay.
And you know, and then we really did a little overboard on the veins on the island to really, you know, accent the blue that's in there.
Sure. I
And
saw
then
that, yeah.
and then on the rest of the counter all the way around, I mean, there's that one piece is almost 11 foot long, and then it makes the 90-degree turn, and it's 4 foot that way. And I did it that way because I only wanted to put 2 seams on the counter. I didn't want to have a bunch of seams all the way down the counters. You know? So,
right.
Again, the process you did with Mitch helping me on how to seam the boards together, and then what I did is I got my router and I went and I got 1/4 inch pieces of metal that were about 8 inches long.
Yeah.
And I overlapped them on the seam on the bottom, and then put that polyester epoxy over top of that and let it dry like you guys do.
Yep.
I mean, you could jump up and down on that counter and it don't even flex, man.
I know that's key. First addressing your seams before you even start the color. That's definitely key. We found that we could transport that way. It doesn't matter how big a piece is, as long as you could get it in the doorway, you can make it that big.
Right. Yeah, and your process in the product. I mean, it's hard to believe that a couple cans of spray paint and some metallic colors with isopropyl alcohol, and following the procedure and honoring the procedure, the outcomes that you get with virtually no experience is I mean, I can't even put it into words. I mean, you just have to experience it for yourself, and I think you can understand what I'm talking about coming from a guy that never did a countertop before until I saw your product.
Oh man, that's Greg. So my brother says that you are you a truck driver? Is that what you do now?
Yeah, I drive a haul milk for a local dairy at night. At night, and then during the day, I push my business and trying to get that to grow so I could, focus solely on that.
So you're working. You're gonna try to do this full time. Is that your goal?
Absolutely.
Awesome, man. Well, we want to help you any way that we can. As you know, we're dead serious about free project support. We don't mess around. We want to help you. We don't care how long you need help, how many questions you have. We really appreciate your support and your support with us. And so we posted a picture of you installing this big project. We were really taken back by your amazing review for us. And tell us what happened. Mitch said you got some calls over us posting that. Is that correct?
Yeah. Some of my family members saw your posting, and friends, and they called me. Hey, what's this I see on your Facebook page? Because I shared it on my page.
Okay.
And they're like, man, that's just awesome. But how did you get to the company to do that? I said, I didn't. All I did was send them pictures of the project and how it turned out with their product, and they did it on their own. I didn't even know they did it. I said, and I tell everybody, I'm like, look, man, let me tell you, I have managed big box retail stores, Best Buys. I've managed, Verizon stores, Sprint stores. I've been using the World Wide Web, www, to order products since the inception of the internet.
Okay.
And I'm not saying this to just put fluff on top of the cake here, but when it comes to customer service and support, I'm telling you, bar none, you guys, I mean, you're light years ahead of everybody I've ever dealt with, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you, Greg.
When your wife picks up a phone call at 8 o'clock at night because I had a little hiccup in my project, and I didn't even realize that I was dialing her personal cell phone number. I've since deleted it because I don't want to call it no more. But
no problem.
She answered the call, and she was at home, doing her things at home and nightly, with the family, and she's more concerned about helping me straighten out my project and getting my mistake corrected so that my project comes out right. And I'm gonna tell you that there's no amount of money that has ever been printed that could pay for that anywhere.
Man. That's so cool. Thank you, Greg. No, that's why she's the boss, man. She's awesome.
Yeah, and Mitch, I was talking to Mitch about, hey, these seams I got to put together, man. I don't know, here's the colors I'm using, and I don't want them. I want to hide them as much as I can, but you're going to see them. And he outlined me out on the 10X and the color to use, and we narrowed it down to black and gray, and I ended up using gray. And I'll tell you, man, following the procedure, putting the tint in before you put the hardener in,
yes,
and then spreading it. I mean, buttering it on like you do with the spatula. It went together, and I'm telling you, that seam, after I put it together and it dried, then I ran a bead of caulk over top of it. And I mean, it's there if you go up and walk up to it and look at it. But if you're just standing in a room and look at it, you can't see it. It's unbelievable.
So did
Yeah.
you pour the colors first and then cut your seam in secondary after you were done? Is that how you did it?
No, I didn't, because I wanted to do it that way, but I don't have the working space to do that.
Got it. Okay.
So
okay.
I just put a little more gray and in that ends of each of the countertops where they were going to seam and come together.
Okay.
And I took pictures with my iPad of the each countertop. So when I finished one, I had that picture of that section where that seam was going to go, and just by eyeball, I tried to match it on the next piece where they were going to seam together so the veins would line up.
I see.
It didn't come out perfect, but you're right. Throwing your color down and then cutting afterwards is the way to do it. But unfortunately, the way that this job was laid out, I didn't have the area to do that.
That's all right. It sounds like you had a good plan though. You put some of the same color family right next to each other, and you're going to be good to go.
Yeah, and being that it's in a store like that, and they have all these fountain drinks machines and hot dog cookers and warmers on it. I mean, it was one of those jobs where you were allotted a little room for error, and it would be hidden anyway.
Right.
But
I see.
Yeah.
You got a lot of stuff on top of the countertop.
Yeah.
So your boys helped you. You got kids?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got
Oh, cool.
3 boys.
Oh, cool. I got 4 boys myself. So I have a boy who, my oldest is 14, and I grew up going to construction sites with my old man, and I got to tell you, those experiences, they're lifelong, man. I think it's so cool that you're bringing your kids with you and training and helping and making them part of your family business. What's been your experience with that so far? How has that gone?
I was just talking to my son, my oldest son. He's 14. His name's Dominic. He helped me through this whole project, and those countertops are really, really long, and that MDF board is not light.
Right.
And when we were installing the countertops, he was with me, and I had one end of the counter, and I'm looking almost 11 feet down the other end, and there's my son looking back at me carrying it. And I kind of had to stop for a minute because it seemed so surreal that, hey, wait a minute, I watched this kid come into this world as a preemie and a couple weeks premature, and now here I am staring at this young man that's almost as tall as I am at the age of 14, and he's working with me, and it's, to me, that's priceless in itself too, to be able to strengthen a bond with your kids and teach them something that's valuable to learn how to read a tape measure, learn how to cut a straight line, and the fundamentals of how to build or fix something, and then to piggyback that and give them the experience of playing with the epoxy and playing with colors and I let them do their own sample boards with the stuff that was left over, and it was just a fun family evening. We had fun, we played, and I tell you, you can't replace those times and those memories, and it's a great thing. So not only is your product providing me with a way to provide for my family on a monetary value, but it's also providing for my family to give us great time spent together and growing together as a family. And it's amazing what you guys have going on. It really is.
I think it's important. The reason I asked you that, I gained so much out of working with my dad, and now my dad actually works with us now. The roles have kind of reversed. He works with us. He runs our shipping department. He's so proud of my brother and I, and I love it. And I'm telling you, you're building lifelong bonds, even deeper than just father and son. When you work together and you teach your son a trade or teach him something, man, that's priceless, like you said. So that pulls at my heartstrings. That's a big reason why I wanted to call you. I wanted to thank you personally for using our product. I wanted people to hear your story. I want you to be able to kind of promote your business. Can you tell folks how they can get a hold of you in your area and kind of what your wheelhouse is, what your business is all about?
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate the opportunity. What I do, I started out doing floors, putting epoxy on floors with the acrylic and terrazzo chips and, covering them and putting decorative design in that, and moved on to doing pool decks. I was telling Patrick earlier that we also do flagstone patterns on patios, garage floors, any concrete surface that is pretty messed up with a lot of cracks or uneven pavement. we could put a flagstone pattern, which is just a concrete overlay, and then incorporate the pattern of the flagstone with your cracks to hide the cracks in your concrete.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and I'll email you pictures of it tomorrow so you can see what we do. But
Sure.
we even do that on pool decks too, and that's a real popular thing with the pool decks because people get tired of looking at the same old pool decking.
Right.
And then after you put it down, you can stain it virtually any color you want. So I mean, you want it to look like flamingo pink, you can have it, or
Right.
I mean, it's just virtually endless. And then from playing with all the epoxies on the ground and doing stuff on the floors, and then I come across your guys' website. I started looking at that, and just your videos and how well the instruction is when you put them together. I mean, to me, it really helped me learn and understand the product even more by watching you and the process of what you do and how you break it down. And I'm like, man, this guy really puts a lot of effort into making sure people understand his product, so when they buy it and use it, they understand the application and the process. So I'm like, man, I'm going to try that, and I watched every single video you had on your website and YouTube, a year ago, from a year back.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I know I can do this. I mean, instead of putting it on the ground, I'm putting it on the countertop. I mean, it's got to be pretty easy, and I was a little skeptical. You have that fear of the unknown. You're hesitant, but I mean, your product is so easy to work with, and the colors, and it just goes together, and it's unbelievable what transforms right in front of your eyes.
You got this, man. You got it.
Yeah, yeah. And my business is custom rich coatings, and my little slogan is it only looks rich.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
I mean, really, for what you get for the price on this stuff, I don't see how anybody could really justify or validate spending the money on high dollar marble or stone or granite.
Well,
What I mean?
Tell listeners what area you're in so they know how far are you willing to work.
Oh, well, I'm located in the Central Valley of California, just an hour north of Fresno. But I will travel as far as the Manteca, Tracy, Lathrop area.
Okay.
I will go as far south as Clovis, Fresno. I just did a job in Mariposa, which is halfway between me and Yosemite National Park.
Okay. That's pretty country, man.
Oh, I love it up there. I mean, if I could move up there, I'd go up there in a minute.
Sure.
But, Sonora, pretty much anywhere within 100 miles of Merced, the city of Merced.
Okay.
That's the closest main city from me. I'll be more than happy to accommodate anybody who wants to tackle a project, but maybe don't have the tools or the skill set to do it with their own confidence. Call me.
What we find, Greg, is we get calls every day of folks who see the videos, they love the product, they love the process, but they're just not do-it-yourselfers. They don't have that blood in them that they want to go for it themselves. And so there's usually two kinds of people. One, I'm going to do it myself. Two, no, I need somebody to do this. And so we really like to connect contractors to homeowners, and we do that on a daily basis. If you're one of those people, call us and we'll put you in touch with somebody in your area that uses our stuff all the time. So we appreciate you using it. We appreciate you tackling that. We want to help you grow your business. Do you want to leave your phone number for folks to call you?
Sure, absolutely. You can contact me at area code 209-628-8991, or you can send me an email to rich5457@gmail.com.
Awesome, Greg, man. Thank you so much. Tell your boys I'm proud of them for working with their dad. Keep it up, man. Please stay in touch with us. Let us know how we could help you. And we're just stoked. We're stoked to hear these kind of stories, and we really appreciate your business, man. Thank you so much for your support.
Hey, thank you. And I just got your slab jig today in the mail, so my next adventure is going to be a slab next week.
You got a slab jig, right on, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
We just did a hands-on training class. A couple guys had slab jigs, and they've been using them, and we've been getting feedback on those for a long time. But I know you'll love it. That thing is that thing changed our world as far as that's a great trade in itself right there.
Yeah, I know, and there's a big demand for those tables, and I'm just really excited and looking forward to seeing what transforms in front of my face with that wood when I get my hands on it.
So we're working on a new video right now with that slab jig, and we got an exciting. Oh, I don't even want to reveal it. I don't want to. You'll see. It's using the
Okay.
jig, but it's a project that costs you probably $150, $200, and the thing is amazing, man. I mean, yeah, I can't wait for people to see it. So it's coming right up. We're gonna post videos of what's been going on with our class that we just did. Did you get to see our video of us out in North Carolina yet? I mean, South Carolina.
I watched it yesterday. Yeah, I watched it yesterday.
We had a great time. Did you think the video was okay?
Yeah, it was great. I was kind of hoping to watch more of the process on how you guys tackled that big of an island. I mean,
Right.
man, how'd you torch the center of it?
Oh man, we could reach it. It was 6.5 feet across, but if you put the torch in the back of your hand, you could kind of use it to extend your arm, and we were able to torch it. We didn't want to show the whole process because we don't want to take away from American Builder's actual production of it. You know,
Right.
we just wanted to do a behind the scenes look. So we talked to their production team. Said, hey, here's what we're trying to do. They said, okay, just kind of leave us some meat on the bone. We ain't gonna get this out, and you know, I think they're getting it out in June. So we
Oh, wow.
yeah, but it was a great project, man. We had a blast out there.
Yeah, man, the colors that came out on that top too. I mean, wow, that thing really talks to you when you look at it.
Oh yeah, it was wild, and what was so cool is Brian Gary, who runs that show. He told me afterwards. He goes, I didn't think that this was going to be what you showed it on the videos. He's like, we saw it on the videos. We were kind of skeptical. Just didn't think it would be that easy. He goes, it's easier than what you showed, and you're not overselling. I go, that's key, and he just loved it, man. And I think we'll be doing more projects with him.
Man, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm so excited, man. This is just, not to go on a religious path with you, but I mean, God's working in my life, and I believe that it's Him that brought me to you and your product, and now look at me here 6 months after I started using your stuff. I'm sitting on a phone doing a podcast with you. I mean, that's not my doing, man. That's the good man upstairs working on me. So I glory to Him, and thank you to you and your family and your company. I mean, Mitch, Val, Patrick, Catherine, all of them. I mean, instrumental in that job that I just completed. And really, honestly, Mike, it would not have ever even happened if it wasn't for their help and for your videos, man. So I owe you the thank you. Thank you.
Right on, Greg. Well, hey, right on. God bless you too, and keep it up, and we'll talk to you soon, brother.
Okay, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Man, that was cool. Guys, that's what it's about right there. If you need help promoting your business, give us a call on the podcast line. Let us know how we can help you. Let us know what your questions are. I'm taken back right now, man. That's a guy that's out there just going after it, and that's the American dream. I love that. Good job, Greg. Thank you, guys. Everybody who came out to our class, thank you. We had an amazing time. We got some great things happening here, some exciting news coming up. We will get to more questions on the Q&A. Oh, let me turn this off. Oh, it looks like he's calling back. Hold on a second. Hello?
Hey, Mitch.
Oh, this is Mike.
Mike, I'm sorry. This is Greg calling you back.
Oh, it's okay.
Now that we're done with that, I got to ask you a question.
Sure.
Have you seen that new technique that they're doing called was it Lightberg or light?
Oh yeah, Lichberg, where they light it up with electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting ready to do a video on that.
Is that what you were alluding
to?
No.
What I was alluding to was, all right, guys, man, that was a fun podcast. I had a great time. What I like about these, you don't know where they're going, and what you see is what you get. We're not. We're just trying to go over what's happening here, what's going on with our business, what's going on with other people, how are they progressing with their Stone Coat Countertops experiences, and how can we help you become successful with your project, with your business, with what you're doing. Let us know what we can do to help you. What questions do you have? What comments do you have? Comment below. Let us know what you would like to see in the podcast.
Who would you like us to interview? Who would you like us to call? Who would you like to see in the office? Anything you want, we're going to do our best to get it done. Thanks again for watching. We appreciate your support. You can visit us anytime at stonecoatcountertops.com. And until next time, from Dominate DIY, you got this. We'll see you soon. Dominate DIY.